From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Morning Edition.
All right, get out your calendar, look at the days, and you are smack dab in the middle of the work week. Thank you for joining us this morning. It's Wednesday, November 19th.
Rise and shine. Let's open up the windows and get this day moving.
I'm gonna shoot your dog, man. I'm gonna shoot your dog.
Dramatic body camera footage revealing the tense moments leading up to a police shooting on San Francisco's Market Street. Why police say an officer shot a man and a dog. Plus, what the mayor is saying about safety leading up to the holiday season.
We're tired of security, like the lack of security at the school.
Their voices loud and clear. Oakland students calling on leaders for change after a shooting on campus. The action they'd like to see taken to keep them safe.
There's no way some random dude that's not even a student here able to walk in that field house right there, shoot somebody, and damn near get away.
Campus security scrutiny at Laney College after the shooting of legendary coach John Beam as the suspect stands before a judge for the first time.
You can't have a community without everyone looking out for each other.
And we'll introduce you to the volunteers who are going out of their way to make sure their neighbors don't go hungry this holiday season. It's Wednesday. Let's do this.
It is Wednesday. We're halfway through the week, and it's a dry start to the day. I wish I could say we're finishing up nice and dry, but the reality is we have another cold front pushing in to that California coastline. So I'm standing directly over the bay right now. I want to start off with a wide shot just to paint the picture as we head into the evening hours tonight. We have the storm system offshore that's going to start pushing inland as we head into the overnight hours tonight and early morning hours tomorrow. Let's see if that ends up wanting to play. Now, as we head into the evening hours tonight, here we go. As we head into the evening hours tonight and early morning hours tomorrow, we're really only going to gear up for around a 1/10 of an inch of rain. If anything, we could see a 1/2 inch locally all the way down into the Santa Cruz Mountains and some of those higher peaks. But let's zoom a little bit closer. I want to head all the way over into places like San Francisco and all the way over into Oakland, where our rainfall totals aren't too impressive, but we're continuing to add to them as we head into the evening hours tonight. This is what we're gearing up for as we head into the next 24 hours. I'm going to time the storm out for you coming up in just a bit, show you the heaviest points that we can see, some stronger wind gusts and some stronger rain. But for now, I'm going to send it back over to you.
All right, Jess, thank you so much. Let's look live at Capitol Hill and the White House this morning, where the Senate has agreed by unanimous consent to approve a House-passed bill ordering the release of those files related to convicted sex offender and one-time Trump associate Jeffrey Epstein. This morning, that bill will reportedly be on President Trump's desk for signing. So after the near unanimous passage in the House yesterday, Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer, he got unanimous consent in the Senate to approve what is now known widely as the Epstein Files Transparency Act. That means as soon as the bill hits the Senate, lawmakers have agreed to fast-track it to get it over to the White House for passage and making a law. All that stands in the way of the file's full release is President Donald Trump. Now, for his part, Mr. Trump is not accused of anything criminal. He says he has nothing to hide. But a major part of the push to release the files came from South Bay Congressmember Ro Khanna. He partnered with one of the president's biggest supporters, Republican firebrand Marjorie Taylor Greene. You know, in recent days, the president has called Greene names, and he's even said she's lost her way. Well, here's Khanna and Greene, Democrat and Republican, fighting for the same thing on the Hill.
What do the American people want to know? They want to know who else visited Epstein's Island, who raped young girls, who abused young girls.
I want to see every single name released so that these women don't have to live in fear and intimidation.
The victims also behind Greene. Well, what's next? If the president signs the bill, the Justice Department will have 30 days to release the files. Meanwhile, President Trump has asked the DOJ to investigate links between high-profile Democrats and Epstein.
Happening today, the Oakland Unified School District. Its leaders will review plans for how to deal with a major budget deficit. Job cuts across numerous departments are expected. District leaders say they need to cut $100 million from next year's budget. Now, if that does not happen, the district could lose local control and face state and county oversight once again. The district only recently emerged from more than 20 years of state receivership because of previous financial mismanagement and chronic budget shortfalls. So now OUSD leaders are trying to figure out how to cut $100 million, and there really are no easy ways there. One option slashes deeper into staffing levels and saves the district more money. The other option saves less money but protects more essential roles. The bottom line, how much operational and legal risk the district is willing to take on in order to hit their savings target A final vote is set for December 10th.
The motion fails with 2 noes and 2 ayes.
An effort to expand Oakland's surveillance camera system failed during last night's Public Safety Committee meeting. The verdict coming after a heated debate. Police wanted more than $2 million to not only expand the use of Flock Safety's automated license plate reader cameras, they also wanted to be able to monitor them in real time and integrate privately owned cameras into their system. The privacy advocates were worried that the data collected could be shared with other federal agencies. Read.
In Oakland, students at Skyline High School walked out of class protesting what they feel is a lack of campus safety after someone shot a teen inside a bathroom. That teen survived, and the teen now wakes up knowing that students are rising up. There was also a rally at Bishop O'Dowd High School calling for the same thing. In the Skyline case, police arrested 2 teens. Police tell us both had something called ghost guns, which are firearms assembled from parts that lack serial numbers. That means the guns are not traceable. Students say they're scared and they're angry. They're demanding more from their district leaders to keep them safe.
Like, we need to show them that we're serious because they know that we're tired of being shot up. We're tired of security, like the lack of security at the school. Our school doesn't just have the resources we need to build a safer and secure environment. I mean, it's not a big ask. It really isn't. I don't think so.
You heard student government leader Kennedy Wiley there talking about how resources are a problem. She promises to push in meetings with district leaders to try to make sure she and her peers are safe getting an education. You know, fresh on Kennedy's mind is the reality that just the day after the shooting at Skyline, bullets flew at Laney College. In that case, notorious coach John Beam died on campus. The man accused in that case is Cedric Irving Jr., who faced a judge in an arraignment yesterday. There are major questions about his mental health this morning that could play heavily in the case. There's also reporting that Irving felt the coach used witchcraft on him. The judge ruled Irving will remain behind bars without bail and will return to court in December.
Moving around the Bay for headlines in your community, we begin in San Francisco's Outer Richmond district. A developer wants to add 8 stories of housing above a neighborhood Safeway store in that area. The store currently is located on La Playa Street. The development would have more than 500 units, including 68 for low-income housing. The grocery store would temporarily close during construction, though Safeway says every employee would keep their job. In Petaluma, Measure I looks like it is headed for defeat, and that'll mean painful cuts for local schools. The parcel tax needs a 2/3 majority to pass, but right now it only has about 62% of the voter approval. County officials say it has almost zero chance of reaching the threshold. Now, without the funding, Petaluma City Schools expects to slash $4 to $5 million from the 2026-27 budget. Staff, programs, and services, they all could take a hit. A committee will start making cutback recommendations next month, with final decisions expected to come in early next year. A former employee at the now closed federal women's prison in Dublin is set to be sentenced on sex crime charges today. Former prison guard Lawrence Gaccad has pleaded guilty to sexual misconduct charges. Both the U.S. Attorney's Office of Northern California and his defense team are asking that he get 5 years of probation. A lengthy federal investigation revealed rampant sex abuse of inmates at FCI Dublin and ultimately led to the all-women's prison being shut down last year.
Major news in the national push for states to redraw congressional maps trying to pick up more seats in Congress. Here's your headline, and it's a big one. Judges on a federal court struck down Texas's newly redrawn congressional maps. They ruled those maps are unconstitutional because the judges felt they were designed to weaken the voting power of racial minorities. It's a major loss for President Trump and Republicans who backed the maps to preserve their slim majority in next year's midterm elections. Texas plans to challenge that ruling, but think about this. In response to Texas's redrawing of their maps, California leaders, well, they sought approval from our voters to redraw our state's maps to help Democrats pick up seats in Congress. So what happens to that measure just passed called Proposition 50? We asked CBS News legal analyst Jessica Levinson.
There's nothing to me to indicate that because judges came to one conclusion in Texas, they're going to come to the same conclusion in California.
Okay, so we wait to see. Prop 50 originally included trigger language linking its implementation to Texas, but that provision was eventually removed, so it would still take effect. But Governor Gavin Newsom responding on this Texas decision, saying on social media, quote, Donald Trump and Greg Abbott played with fire, they got burned, and democracy won. This ruling is a win for Texas and for every American who fights for free and fair elections. We also heard from a longtime Republican who's an opponent of midterm redraws of congressional maps. California Republican Congressman Kevin Kiley says it's all a foolish redistricting war, urging House Speaker Mike Johnson to support his bill that bans mid-decade redrawing of congressional maps.
It is 6:10 on this Wednesday morning. A high-profile meeting between President Trump and the Saudi Crown Prince. Their deals together in the controversy that came up when they took questions from the press.
San Francisco Animal Rescue Group says they've been busier than ever but don't have the funding to keep up services. Why a change to California law especially impacts them?
And we have more rain in store for us as we head into the late evening hours tonight. We're going to time that out, show you how much rain you can expect in your local communities, and show you when it's expected to dry up right around the corner.
First Alert Weather, brought to you by AAA Insurance. Get a quote today.
Welcome back. This morning in Ukraine, a Russian drone strike and missile attack on the western city of Chernobyl killed at least 20 people. Video shows plumes of smoke, fires, and rescue teams there. 2 9-story apartment buildings in the city sustained major damage. The Russian attack comes as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky arrived in Turkey, hoping to revive peace talks that have been stalled for months.
Well, we are also watching live video coming to us from our many monitors from all across the globe delivering the headlines. So we got to tell you what happened last night at the White House. There was a dinner honoring Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. President Trump named Saudi Arabia as a major non-NATO ally. The Crown Prince announced $1 trillion investment into U.S. industries, including AI, as well as a deal to buy American F-35 fighter jets. Earlier in the day, the headline that just would not go away raised the ire of President Donald Trump. A reporter asked him about the 2018 murder of Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi, widely connected to the Crown Prince. Listen to how the President of the United States responded.
A lot of people didn't like that gentleman that you're talking about. Whether you like him or didn't like him, things happen, but he knew nothing about it.
Whether you liked him or didn't like him, things happened. So says President Donald Trump. He also called the ABC journalist who asked that question, and also a question about why Trump couldn't just order the release of the Epstein files instead of having Congress do it. He called that reporter, quote, a horrible person. Crown Prince sidestepped questions on the murder of the journalist. New steps by the Trump administration to dismantle the Department of Education. That Department of Labor will now be in control of $18 billion of Title I programs for low-income schools, along with teacher training and college prep grants.
Well, a little bit closer to home, fresh powder just in time for ski season at Mammoth. The resort picked up 11 to 16 inches of snow in just the last 24 hours, all thanks to the powerful storm that hit California, primarily bringing it to the southern part of the state. In total, 18 inches have fallen over 3 days. Mammoth opens for the 2025-26 season tomorrow. Let's bring you live outside now here in the Bay Area. No snow to talk about on this Wednesday morning in our microclimates, but hey, that's a beautiful shot of San Francisco. Jess Birch here with your forecast.
I'm still waiting for the day it even snows in the Bay Area, but here's what's happening for us. Our friends up into the Sierra are getting more snow as we head into the next 24 hours while we're getting our next batch of showers widespread throughout the Bay. Let's tilt that camera up high and look a little bit lower. What I'm seeing right now as we head into the next 24 hours is another cold front pushing in from offshore. This one bringing in up to around 1/10 of an inch of rain for us here in the Bay Area. Some gusty winds in the early morning hours and all the way over into the afternoon hours tomorrow. Cooler temperatures once again. I want to drop this though, and we're going to zoom in just a little bit closer because as we head all the way over into San Francisco, it's off to a dry start this morning, but it's not until the late evening hours tonight, early morning hours tomorrow, where we actually do get some more rain in the forecast. Zoom into these numbers right over into the East Bay real quick. I want to show you we're gearing up for up to around 1/100 of an inch of rain in certain microclimates like Livermore, all the way over into Napa, closer to around 1/10 of an inch of rain there. This is what we're going to monitor closely as we head into the early morning hours tomorrow, because as you see the timeline of the storm system, it's really an early morning system. You're really not going to notice it by the evening hours tomorrow night. Now, daytime highs are going to be impacted by this. As this cold front pushes through, we're dropped right back down to the low 60s and upper 50s widespread throughout the Bay Area for our daytime highs today and tomorrow. So it's going to look very similar for us all throughout the Bay. But let's zoom in just a little bit closer and get this hour by hour, because there are some changes that we're going to notice late tonight. Some light showers starting to push in, starting up in the North Bay, just based off the tilt of the storm system. Places like Santa Rosa stretched all the way down into San Francisco just around 10, 11 o'clock tonight. That's when we get those first batches of showers. That continues to sweep off into the east. Now we're into the 4 a.m. hour tomorrow. Many of us still sleep at this point, but as we start to wake up, you're going to smell rain outside as you're taking the dogs out. You're going to notice that storm system starting to dry up into the afternoon hours. You already saw the rainfall totals. We're getting close to around 1/10 of an inch, but it's higher elevated areas. For example, the Santa Cruz Mountains or maybe even Mount Tam, they could see closer to around 1/2 inch of rain from that exact same cold front. So that's what we're keeping a close eye on. We start to dry up as we head into this weekend's forecast and warm up too, yes, but it's only into the mid-60s in places like the Bay all the way off into our inland spots. And that's actually how we're going to kick off next week too, with drier weather right around the corner for our friends in our inland areas, but still cool 60s in the forecast for us. Over to you.
All right, thank you for that, Jessica. Let's get you rolling on the freeways this morning. We'll start in South Bay. There is a crash on northbound 880 at Old Bayshore Highway in San Jose. The right and center lanes are blocked. Let's head on up to the East Bay now. There's a crash on westbound Highway 24 in the Piedmont area. This one just after the Telegraph Avenue exit. It is blocking the right lane, so expect those delays to stack up pretty early this morning. Over at the Altamont Pass, it's your classic slow and go at 6:18 on a Wednesday morning. Top speeds barely touching 30 miles an hour, with most drivers averaging closer to about 15. The commute shaping up to be about 50 minutes. Heading on over to the Bay Bridge now, the metering lights are on. It is full-on bumper-to-bumper traffic as people head into the city. The good news, if you are hopping on public transit today, at this hour, everything appears to be running smoothly with no major delays to report. That's a look at your morning commute. In San Francisco, a wildlife rescue that exists to help animals in need is now in need of a little help itself. Yggdrasil Urban Wildlife Rescue lost its grant money and is having some money trouble overall and dealing with a slew of other issues. Amanda Harry talked to the founder about what it is going to take for them to keep going.
I'm just curious if she
These are two elderly
Yggdrasil Urban Wildlife Rescue is filled with animals, turtles, opossums, and squirrels, all in need of a little extra care.
This year, we've had the most animals come in needing help and the least amount of donations. The world is hard right now.
You've made a big mess out of your enclosure
Founder
today.
Lila Travis says they usually help around 700 animals a year. This year, that number is going to be around 850.
The whole purpose is to raise them to be released back into the wild, to give them a second chance at a normal life.
But now the rescue is fighting for its own survival. This year, they had 2 major grants come to an end, as well as some unexpected expenses.
This cage right here cost $6,000, but we really needed it, so we bought it.
The nonprofit runs on a shoestring budget of just $100,000. In August, the California Department of Fish and Wildlife changed some regulatory laws. Now, they'll have to make upgrades that come with a hefty price tag.
It's great that they did that. It just comes at really bad timing because we just don't have the funding coming in to be able to make those kinds of adjustments right now. So that's why we've had this emergency fundraiser.
This little opossum was part of the fundraiser this past weekend.
Yeah, he's
about 4 months old and came in this summer. They quickly realized he doesn't have eyeballs, making him blind and unable to go back into the wild. Travis says he has the perfect demeanor to become an education ambassador and go to classrooms, but he doesn't have a name yet.
We said, hey, for $5 you can buy a ticket and give us your name suggestion. We're actually going to carry that on online.
The fundraiser generated enough money to get them out of the red for the rest of the year, but they're already gearing up for another one in the spring, and they need to find a long-term solution.
We need sustainable grant funding that we can count on every year in order to reliably be able to do this work. You don't get up close and get to meet wildlife animals, especially in cities, you're not going to care about them. And if we don't care about them, we're not going to try to save them, and that extends to our environment in general.
6:22 in the morning. Thanks for waking up with us. Well, while the Niners offense rolled on Sunday, the defense also stepped up in a big way. Vern Glenn celebrates this in our Red and Gold report. Looking live at the horizon over by the Bay Bridge. Good morning, everybody. It is 6:25 in the morning. Let's talk some sports. The 49ers riding high after a big win over the Cardinals. As Vern Glenn explains in this morning's Red and Gold report, the defense was able to do something they haven't been able to do all season.
This is the Audi Red and Gold report.
The 49ers secondary stepped up in the win over Arizona. The defense had just one interception in the first 10 games, but doubled its season total on Sunday. Corner Deommodore Lenoir was questionable all week, but returned a third-quarter interception 64 yards that left him gasping for air.
I didn't get to practice this week, so I was kind of tired. So it was like my first run since Wednesday. So so I was kind of gassed. But next week we'll be better.
With the Red and Gold report, I'm Vern Glenn.
Looking live this morning at the San Jose Civic, some of the best women's soccer players in the country will be honored there later today. It is the National Women's Soccer League Awards tonight. Trophies will be handed out for Coach of the Year, Goalkeeper of the Year, and MVP, Most Valuable Player. There will be a blue carpet as a part of the celebration of women's soccer. And this Saturday, the championship match will be played at PayPal Park in San Jose. Our local Bay Area club, Bay FC, did not make it. The Gotham FC will take on the Washington Spirit for the big trophy. Pre-match coverage starts at 4:30 Saturday evening right here on KPIX and streaming on Paramount+. Read.
Time right now, 6:26. Good morning, everybody. So, body camera footage released of a police shooting at a busy San Francisco Market Street. And a lot of people are really angry. A dog and a man were shot. We have the fallout and the reasons for this from police.
And San Francisco police pledge that Union Square will be safe to shop at this holiday season. Tell you how many more officers they plan to deploy around the area and the plans Mayor Daniel Lurie announced for the holiday season.
From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Morning Edition.
Welcome back. It is 6:30 on the dot on this Wednesday morning. This is a beautiful live look at the city from our cameras on Treasure Island. Jess, this view never ceases to amaze me.
It's one of my favorites. So let's take a live look outside. A couple changes we're going to notice just within the next 24 hours, specifically with that view. I'm going to pull up the full California map and kind of just paint this picture a little bit more large scale before we zoom all the way into the Bay Area. I'm walking over to the Bay Area right now, and this is what we're gearing up for right around the corner. Another cold front into the overnight hours tonight, early morning hours. That's the big weather story for us as we head into the rest of this week's forecast. This cold front will bring in a series of showers like you saw just below me. It's also going to bring in some gustier winds, and on top of that, some cooler weather right around the corner too, as if today wasn't already cool enough. Here's our rainfall totals right around the corner. As we head into the next 24 hours, we could gear up to around a 100th of an inch of rain, all the way over into places like Livermore, about a 10th of an inch all the way up into Napa. Similar numbers stretched down into San Jose too. So as we head into the next couple hours, we're still dealing with dry weather this morning. Take advantage of it while we have it. Into the overnight hours tonight, things look a lot different. You're going to wake up to the smell of rain tomorrow with some lingering showers. I'll time that out for you coming up in just a bit. For now, back to you.
There's a reason everybody comes here to start businesses, because this is the place that invents the future. I never want to lose that spark.
I'm Tom Steyer.
Breaking news, billionaire activist Tom Steyer has entered the race for California governor as a candidate for the Democratic Party. The former presidential candidate and longtime climate advocate says he'll tackle the state's high cost of living, promises to be a part of building affordable housing, and take on big corporations. Steyer joins a crowded field of Democrats hoping to replace Governor Gavin Newsom, who terms out next year and is widely thought to be ready to announce his candidacy for a run for the White House. In Oakland, the man accused of killing legendary football coach director John Beam will remain locked up, no bail. His name is Cedric Irving Jr. He stands accused as being the lone triggerman killing that legendary coach at Laney College last Thursday. And there's new information this morning. Brad Hamilton reports Coach Beam raised safety concerns just one day before the shooting that took his life.
Wearing a green jail outfit, Cedric Irving Jr. was brought into the Alameda County courtroom to face charges in the shooting death of Laney College athletic director and retired coach John Beam. Only still photos were allowed to be taken in the courtroom. The 27-year-old suspect did not enter a plea to the murder charge with a gun enhancement that has him facing 50 years to life in prison if convicted. As Irving stood quietly in the courtroom, family members of Coach Beam watched from the gallery, alongside former football players, as well as NFL running back and Oakland native Marshawn Lynch. At Laney College, security remained highly visible. Amid reports, Coach Beam had raised concerns over security at the field house, the same location where police say he was shot last Thursday in a targeted attack. The San Francisco Standard reported that Coach Beam had spoke at a community forum a day before the shooting about how he felt the campus was less safe after the Peralta Community College District ended its contract with the Alameda County Sheriff's Office to provide armed deputies back in 2020. He reportedly raised the issue that the district's current contracted guards with Diligent Security Group failed to intervene in a recent theft at the field house.
Have you ever seen security like this? What was it like before?
No.
Former Laney football player David Gross says that when he heard how this crime was carried out, he simply couldn't believe it.
For sure, because there's no way some random dude that's not even a student here able to walk in that field house right there, shoot somebody, and damn near get away without even getting caught until he got caught, what, at San Leandro BART station? Yeah, that should not be happening.
Same for Edward Carter, who told us that he worked as a custodian and then a security guard for the college until March of this year.
I worked over 20 plus years. It's not making any sense because Marina we was always in the building. So I don't even know how he got in the building like that.
But former Laney College football player Aleem Othman said he doesn't believe security would have made a difference.
And I don't know what more they could have really done. I mean, the security here is really good. It's just, it's a big campus.
San Francisco police released new videos of a shooting on Market Street last week where an officer shot a man and his dog. Now, the video is going to be tough to watch, but we can tell you that both the dog and the man who was shot are recovering. Surveillance video shows how this all began. An unleashed husky shepherd mix bit a pedestrian in the leg. Police were called and officers approached the dog's owner. Police body cam video then shows the officers trying to take the suspect into custody, and they were reportedly worried about the dog. Officers said it was being aggressive. And then here is where the situation grew more tense. Watch.
I'm gonna shoot your dog, man. I'm gonna shoot your dog. You're under arrest. Get over here, your dog's gonna get shot.
Officers then tried to physically detain the suspect, and that is that moment. When police say the dog lunged at an officer, you can see it happening right there. The dog's owner, police say the owner of the dog threw a plastic bottle at the officer during this confrontation. All of this ended after a foot chase down Market Street.
Mr. Eaton was arrested and booked at the San Francisco County Jail.
The owner and the dog were treated for non-life-threatening injuries. The suspect charged with using force or violence to obstruct an officer and resisting arrest.
Moving around the Bay Area for headlines where you live right in your neighborhoods. We got an update from Marin County. You know, yesterday we told you about San Rafael leaders pushing for a plan to get people off the streets. Well, we now know county leaders in Marin have signed on to that San Rafael plan to build 65 cabin shelters. This is not good news, though, say some homeowners who live nearby. They say they were not given a say in the matter. The site at Marydale Road is expected to cost around $2 million to operate every year. Starting today, the city of San Pablo cracking down hard if you use illegal fireworks. So if you host a party using those illegal fireworks, you'll pay a fine of up to $2,500. Now, think about this. It applies to homeowners and even tenants of a home. If you live in San Pablo, watch for a major media campaign ahead of the New Year's holiday warning you will pay fines in this crackdown. Well, as holiday packages hit your doorstep, police in Monterey County, they're warning about so-called porch pirates, those people who are pesky and go right onto your doorstep to steal your packages. Well, police say California is really one of the hardest hit states for package crimes, even as national rates dip. Monterey neighbors say they're getting ready.
What we do is if we're not going to be here, we know we're going to get a package, then we ask our neighbors to take it for us. So a lot of it is communication with your neighbors.
So police say consider requiring a signature for your delivery or even schedule that delivery for a time you know you're going to be home. You can also have your packages sent to lockers that are offered by Amazon.
The holiday shopping season gets underway. San Francisco leaders say Union Square will be a safe place to visit and shop. Mayor Daniel Lurie says crime in the area is down 40% when compared to this time last year. That does include a 22-year low in car break-ins. Meanwhile, the San Francisco Police Department says they will be doubling their deployment at Union Square throughout the holiday season.
Our officers will be stationed at various retail establishments on the streets to prevent or to respond to any criminal activity. I want everyone who comes to San Francisco to know that you will be safe.
Mayor Daniel Lurie, speaking as well as Interim Police Chief Paul Yep, encouraged people to shop at the new stores that have opened in Union Square in the past year. That includes the new Nintendo store and the Pop Mart. Willie Mays' legacy will forever be etched in sports history. But how much are you willing to spend to own a piece of the Say Hey Kids memorabilia?
Yeah, a lot of people say it's just priceless, right? Yeah. Someone paid almost $400,000 for this Willie Mays Giants jersey and pants from 1971. In fact, when you look on the inside, right there are the pants, you can see Mays' name there in cursive. Apparently, he gifted this road uniform to his longtime personal friend, Jimmy Hayes.
Other Bay Area legends had some gear up for grabs as well. Warrior star Steph Curry's game-worn Nike shoes from 2012 to 2013, they sold for $138,000.
Deep pockets and a love of sports. 6:39 in the morning, the Trump administration again expanding immigration crackdowns in other states. Massive operations planned for the South.
And relying on artificial intelligence to meet your human partner. The app helping you find a real connection with a profile made by AI. Coming up next. And another beautiful shot of the San Francisco skyline. Jess will have your forecast when we come back. Welcome back. Watching live video from our many monitors brings us headlines from across the globe. We continue to watch the Senate and the White House this morning. That's where a bill to release the files related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein has been fast-tracked to President Trump's desk, and the president is expected to sign it today. In a rare moment of bipartisanship yesterday, the bill passed in a nearly unanimous vote in the House. The vote was followed by a unanimous consent agreement in the Senate. Now, outside the Capitol, Epstein survivors held a vigil to mark this moment. Once the president signs the bill, the Justice Department will have 30 days to make the files public. President Trump has asked the Justice Department to investigate links between some high-profile Democrats and Epstein, which could potentially limit what would be released. A major immigration sweep is set to begin in southeast Louisiana and then continue into the state of Mississippi. Around 250 federal agents will deploy for the 2-month operation the feds are calling Swamp Sweep. It's aimed at arresting 5,000 people across both states. Staging begins this week with the full crackdown set to begin in early December. The move has the backing of Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry and supports President Trump's push for mass deportations. But city leaders in New Orleans who oppose such crackdowns could stand in the way. Fashion and fine arts are about to collide on the red carpet. The Met Gala just revealed its theme for next year, and it is a nod to the masters. Think Michelangelo meets Valentino with looks inspired by ancient Greek and historic gowns like the 1800 Delphos. Big event is set to take place on May 6th of next year.
We got to dig in our closet for the 1800th Delphos, Max. It's clear at the back. How about artificial intelligence to help you find love? People looking for love are now using an app called ALO, which is short for J-Lo. I'm kidding. Now you're awake. Authentic Intelligence Love Optimization. Doesn't that make you sound sexy in the morning? Users take a discovery assessment, and then an AI brain generates a dating profile for you, matching you with other singles who score 70% or higher on if you're compatible. One user in Miami says the AI does a better job at finding her love connections than any other popular dating app. Here it is.
Swiping left, swiping right, and nothing is ever good. There's just so much research done beforehand that you know that whoever you match with is a good match for you.
Well, ALO categories include magnetism and attraction, shared thoughts or experiences, and lifestyle preferences. Other dating apps such as Tinder and Bumble have incorporated AI as well to help you find love matches as well. If you find a match, please let us know so that we can celebrate your AI love match in real time, Max.
How can AI detect the spark, though? That's my question I'd like to know. All right, time now to look at what is coming up later this morning on CBS Mornings. Nate Burleson joins us live from New York. Nate, great to see you on a Wednesday morning.
Hey, what's going on, Max? It's good to see you as well. Here's what's coming up on CBS Mornings. With nearly unanimous bipartisan support from Congress, the Epstein files are closer to being released. We will be joined by a survivor who's been fighting for justice for nearly 3 decades. Plus, Smashing Pumpkins frontman Billy Corgan goes to the opera with Vlad. That's right, for a reimagining of one of the band's hit albums 30 years after its release. And we are defying gravity with award-winning director John M. Chu. He's going to be here in studio to talk about the highly anticipated new movie Wicked for Good. I was at the premiere, and it is better than good. We'll also have everything you need to know and more on the show. So we'll see you at 7.
I'm sure a lot of people here in the Bay Area are excited for that interview with John Chu. He actually went to high school here in the South Bay. Thank you for that update, Nate. We're looking forward to seeing that one today.
Thanks, Nate. Now taking a live look outside on this beautiful Wednesday morning, here is Jess with your forecast.
All right, well, from the South Bay all the way up into the North Bay, let's all gear up for some more rain right around the corner, why don't we? Well, here's the reality. We have a cold front pushing in late tonight, early tomorrow morning, bringing in a series of showers as we head into those early morning hours tomorrow. And in total, we could get up to around 1/10 of an inch of rain in most of our microclimates. Even more impressive numbers in certain higher elevated communities like the Santa Cruz Mountains or all the way up into Mount Tam, too. So here's our rainfall totals for our Thursday forecast. That rain system pushes in the early morning hours, clears up by tomorrow afternoon, but that's what we're gearing up for today. It also will bring in some gustier winds too and some cooler weather right around the corner. Daytime highs today, for example, sitting in the low 60s, widespread throughout our inland areas, all the way up into the North Bay. We're holding on tight to 50s today. Well, as we head into our forecast tomorrow, we're seeing very similar numbers. So let's talk more about this storm system because it is a dry day for us today so far. It's late tonight, early tomorrow morning as that windshield wiper, that band of rain sweeps in from the north. This will bring in a series of showers into the overnight hours tonight, light to moderate rain. You see that right there in that green to yellow color. It breaks apart as we head into that 2 a.m. hour, pushing throughout the peninsula, down into the South Bay. As we wake up early tomorrow morning, maybe 4 or 5 a.m., you're still going to hear some light showers outside. It starts to clear up, though, as we head into that 10 a.m. hour. So that morning commute may be a little wet. And on top of that, those roads would be slick. So just be very careful out there tomorrow morning around this time. It starts to clear up fast, though, as we head into our afternoon hours Thursday. What does that leave us with? Well, as we head into this weekend's forecast, we're finally drying out. Sunny skies right around the corner Friday and Saturday. We're also gearing up for some cool weather lingering into this weekend's forecast. Partly cloudy skies rolling back in next week, but at least it's dry. This is the second week we've been dealing with this is the second week here in the Bay Area that we've been dealing with rain pushing in from offshore. We had the atmospheric river last week. We kicked off this week with another cold front, leaving us nice and cool and wet, of course. We get one more band of showers as we head into Thursday, and then we quickly dry up as we head into this weekend. Sunnier skies right around the corner, partly cloudy skies for our friends in our inland spots, too, as early as Sunday into Monday. We'll have more on that forecast coming up in just a bit. For now, back to you.
All right, thank you for that, Jessica. Let's head to our traffic map now. We are still tracking that crash in the South Bay that we told you about a little bit earlier this morning, and it's really becoming a hot spot. We now also have back-to-back crashes on northbound 880, both of them just south of Old Bayshore Highway. One of them is just after the 101 exit, and the other just before the 101 exit. The right lanes and exit lanes are blocked, so expect some major backups in that stretch. In Hayward, there is another trouble spot to talk about this morning. An accident is affecting the right-hand lane on southbound 880 just before the A Street exit. Speeds are dropping as low as 20 miles per hour. Travel time through that span is looking to be about 40 minutes. Heading over to the Bay Bridge, there is a disabled vehicle on westbound 80 at Treasure Island Road. A lane is blocked, so you can expect more slow and go as we'd see on this time of the morning as people head to the city. That's a look at your morning commute. Well, the countdown is on. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade hits the streets of Manhattan next week. Organizers just revealed 7 new floats joining the 99th annual parade, including the first ever Labubu float. Also in the mix, creations from Lego, Lindt, Stranger Things, and more. They'll roll alongside fan favorites like Sesame Street, Snoopy, and Turkey Tom. Kicks off on Thanksgiving morning.
I love it. It's always my favorite. Time right now, 6:50 in the morning. Hey, food banks across the Bay Area are on a mission to help families fight food insecurity.
The need has increased over 150%. You can't have a community without everyone looking out for each other.
Amen to that. Everybody needs to look out for each other, and guess what? People are doing just that. You're going to meet a team of amazing bridge builders in Santa Cruz, making sure nobody goes hungry this holiday season.
And let's take you live outside with another beautiful shot of San Francisco's skyline on this Wednesday morning. Stay with us.
6:54 in the morning. Good morning, everybody. We're glad you're with us. Time now for your Money Watch report as we take a live look at the big board. Trading just started on Wall Street. We're in positive territory by, inches. We'll take that. So the market is also watching for Bay Area's NVIDIA, set to release their Q3 earnings today. We're watching to see what happens there. Also, we're looking at this. This is the big Target's third quarter profits report. Those profits took a tumble as the retail giant says those sales numbers have not grown in, get this, 4 years. So as a result, Target slashed 1,800 corporate jobs last month to cut some costs. In the past year, Target's stock tumbled 43%. Analysts and the company point to fierce competition from Amazon, Walmart, and other online retailers. Also, they say cautious consumer spending in this current trade environment and high inflation are the key reasons why they're really struggling at the red circle there at Target. To reverse the sales slump, Target plans another $1 billion investment next year, adding new stores, remodels, and upgrades to digital. A major win for Menlo Park-based tech giant Meta. Did you hear about this? A federal judge ruled the social network giant is not an illegal monopoly for owning WhatsApp and Instagram. The judge noted the Federal Trade Commission did not demonstrate that Meta holds uneven power, citing competition from apps like TikTok. Well, a major recall affecting newer Honda Accord hybrids. So listen up if you drive a hybrid 2023 to 2025 of that car brand. More than 250,000 vehicles recalled due to a software glitch that could cause sudden power loss. So if you have one of those cars, Honda says take it to your dealer. They will fix it for free. Okay, how's this for a headline? Maybe you're going to see this shared all over social media today. That toilet, it's an expensive one. It's gold. It just sold at auction for $12 million. It weighs 223 pounds. It is 18 karat gold. The artist who made it named it America as a satire commentary on super wealth. No word on who took home the pricey potty.
Every day, thousands of Bay Area families struggle to make ends meet. In each holiday season, CBS News Bay Area teams up with local food banks to help fight food insecurity.
That's right. We're so proud of our Food for Bay Area Families drive, especially over at Second Harvest Food Bank of Santa Cruz County, the state's first ever food bank. We are celebrating them right here on the Morning Edition. Devin Feely continues our coverage that introduces you to some of the volunteers supporting their neighbors.
On a wet evening, the main parking lot of the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk turned into a lifeline. Second Harvest Food Bank Santa Cruz County launched an emergency response community food distribution. Most people who came through chose to remain in their cars, so we talked to the team of volunteers who kept the operation moving box by box.
My name's Lily Pheasant, and I'm out here today on behalf of the Long-Term Recovery Group of Santa Cruz County and with the California Emergency Response Corps. And just out here to help get some food out to people.
Lily says their goal was to provide food for about 1,000 people, many facing new gaps in assistance.
With the government shutdown, I think a lot of people lost out on benefits, and I know that that's been hugely impactful for so many people. I think that's super important to just fill the gaps that are missing in the federal government right now, and yeah, just make sure people have the support they need.
Volunteers say the need has been growing and community support is what keeps these distributions going.
The need has increased over 150%. You can't have a community without everyone looking out for each other.
From fresh produce to meal essentials, the team worked car to car, making sure that every driver left with what they needed. For many volunteers, showing up like this feels personal.
Community support looks like, literally putting food in people's cars so they can go home and have a good Thanksgiving meal.
Second Harvest will continue pop-up and emergency distributions throughout the season, working to make sure that no one in Santa Cruz County goes without a meal.
And if you'd like to support our Food for Bay Area Families initiative and really help your neighbors out this holiday season, scan that QR code on the screen. You'll be able to donate funds or food or also your time, as food banks across the Bay Area really could use volunteer hours. Even a singular hour makes a big difference. Head to kpix.com/give to learn more.
Yep, some of my favorite angels in the Bay Area, bridge builders who get to know each other by just volunteering. I've talked to so many people who say, my house is a little quiet. I was getting a little lonely after some transitions at home. I came, I served today, and I'm coming back every day, and they do for years.
They do it for years, and they also remind everybody that there is no face to hunger. Anybody, our neighbors, could be experiencing, and you just may never know.
1 in 3 in Santa Cruz County.
It's really incredible.
Wow.
All
Okay.
right.
Good job, everybody.
All right, coming up, the death of a beloved cat in San Francisco is driving a new push to regulate the robo-taxi industry. We look at the effort in our Wired Wednesday segment.
Well, it's the season of giving, and CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger wants to make sure that you know how to give smartly before you open your wallet, because there are scams out there to be aware of.
44 Cable 12, we'll see you there.